Hare Krishna. So we're continuing our Gita Nectar series after quite a long break. And as you all know, we've been celebrating Janmashtami and also a Bhagavad Sapta, Bhagavad Katha in Rajasthan. So now we're back to our regular setup. Let's continue. So today we're going to be reading the major last section of the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a very encouraging it's a very encouraging section where Lord Krishna is giving assurance to the devotees that he will always protect them and they will continue their devotional service no matter what happens. So it begins with a question where Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna, Arjuna vacha ayati shraddhayapeto yogat chalita manasa aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna said, what is the destination of the man of faith who does not persevere, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? So Arjuna goes on to ask two more questions which are related to this question. So basically Arjuna is asking that, okay, as you have suggested to start practicing yoga, controlling the breathing process and meditating upon the form of the Lord within the heart, going to the secluded place and all these things. What if somebody starts this process, but in the middle, he gives it up, being attracted to worldly sense pleasures? So neither he is going to get the result of yoga, he is not going to get liberation from birth and death, and neither he is going to enjoy this material world because he gave it up in the beginning. He didn't work hard. So what is his destination? Doesn't he become lost? So Lord Krishna encourages Arjuna by saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Parthanaiveha namutras vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana kritkaschid durgatim tata gacchati. This is a section of verses. I'd like to read all of them and then we can discuss the translation. Prapya punya kritan lokan ushitva shashwati samaha suchinam shrimatam gehe yogo brashto bijayate अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशं तत्र तं बुद्धि संयोगं लभते पौर्वदेहिकं यतते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव ह्रियते यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिषयी अनेक जन्म संसिद्धास्ततो याति परां गतिं तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकं कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनन्तरात्मनः श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समयुक्ता तमो मतः. So Lord Krishna is replying Arjuna that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Partha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the next. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. He has done good activities and he will get good results. What is the good result? The result is that if he still has some material desires, because of which he could not complete his yoga practice, so Lord Krishna will fulfill those. He will be promoted to the heavenly planets where he can enjoy all those desires that he had. And after that, he will be born in a very rich family or in a very aristocratic or a Brahmin family, a high birth. But if the yogi is very advanced and due to some mistake he could not complete his yoga practice, so instead of being sent to the heavenly planets, he will be given the next birth in a Vaishnava family, in the family of yogis, in the family of devotees. Without wasting time, he will again come right straight back to the track and continue his devotional service. Having obtained a nice birth in a rich family or in a Brahmin family or in a Vaishnava family, a family of yogis, such a person will from childhood, from birth, he will be attracted to the principles of yoga. In the upcoming translations, we'll read that. So the next verse, Lord Krishna is saying, the unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous persons or into the family of rich aristocracy. The next verse. or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily such a birth is rare in this world. On taking such a birth, he again revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. So here we see that once somebody has started devotional service, once somebody has surrendered to Lord Krishna or began the process of surrendering to Lord Krishna always gives him a second chance, gives him a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance, until he completes this process. In the second chapter, we heard that in this path there is no loss or diminution. Remember that verse? Neha bhikramanashosti pratyavayana vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So one who traverses this path, there is no loss. If he completed only 50% in this life, so in the next lifetime he will begin from 51%. He will not drop back. He will always continue forward. So this is here proved by Lord Krishna in the 6th chapter. So upon taking such a birth, he is again naturally attracted to principles of yoga. That is told in the 44th verse. By virtue of his divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist striving for yoga stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So we also see practically, sometimes some people are very much attracted to devotional service. They may be young, they may be very simple, they may be in their school, college or education, but naturally they are attracted to austerities, to simple life, to inquiring about the Supreme Lord, inquiring about the reality of this world. So this is all because of their previous practice of yoga, practice of devotional service. And sometimes we see that we try to convince somebody so much. We preach to them, we give them books, we tell them so many things, but they are not attracted. And sometimes we see some people on their own, by themselves, they come and they search out that I want to know more about this. Please tell me, what is the reality of this world? What is the ultimate reality? I want to know about God. So why is this inquisitiveness there in some people and not there in some people? It's because of their previous actions. One who has done spiritual life in his past will automatically be attracted, according to this verse. He'll automatically be attracted to these principles. That means, he's not indoctrined or he's not taught or he's not forced to, but he's attracted to. So that is proof that he has practiced yoga in his previous life and he has come back to complete it in this life. And he always stands above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So the scriptures, they have some ritualistic principles also, which are basically teaching us to do good, helping others, doing pious activities so that we can be promoted to the heavenly planets, or we can have a better situation even in this life, a material situation. But such a person is not attracted to these ritualistic principles, rather he is attracted to the ultimate truth. He wants to know what is the reality and how to get out of this birth and death, or how to get out of this miseries, sufferings. So the next verse is, but when a yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately after many, many births of practice, this is a point to be noted, after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So upon achieving such a special birth and being attracted to the principles of yoga, being attracted to austerities, giving up sense gratification, and trying hard again and again until he reaches that perfection. So this is a process which may take quite a few lifetimes. It's not such a cheap thing to become free from birth and death. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being very kind and compassionate, he has come to make this process much more easier and simpler. Simply by chanting all together, loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can get love of Godhead very soon, very quickly. So in the association of devotees, if we take shelter of the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, without committing offenses to the devotees or to the holy names, then very soon, the process which takes many, many lives can be achieved within one life also, if we are sincere and careful not to commit offenses towards the devotees and the holy name of the Lord. So this is long process where the devotee is fully purified. He may still have a few desires of material enjoyment within his heart, and if even after reading the scriptures and associating with devotees, even after all these purificatory processes, if he still harbors those desires, if he still has those desires, then Lord Krishna, being kind, grants those desires, allows him to go to the heavenly planets and enjoy, and then again gives him a second chance. He is born in the family of devotees. From his childhood, he gets to learn this knowledge, he gets to hear the Hare Krishna mantra, he gets to taste Mahaprasad and have darshan of the Lord, sing and chant in front of the Lord. And when he grows up, he seriously becomes attracted to this path and follows it very strictly. So at the end of the chapter, Lord Krishna is saying that the yogi is greater than the ascetic, the tapasvi. So here, the yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. And finally, in the 47th verse, Lord Krishna is defining who is the topmost yogi. And of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worships me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga, and is the highest of all. Madgaten antaratmana. So the greatest yogi is one who always remembers the Lord within his heart, who always visualizes the form of the Lord within his heart, and always engages his mind, words and senses, body, in the service of the Lord. So he is the greatest yogi. He is the greatest yogi who is always remembering Krishna. Manmana bhavamad bhakto. Always remember Krishna. This is the goal of yoga. So this is the greatest yogi, and by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, by hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, we are expected to always remember Krishna and gradually develop an attachment. Attachment means which is natural, which we enjoy doing, and which we cannot give up. We are attached to it. We are hooked up. So we have to become attached to Lord Krishna so we can always remember Him and joyfully perform devotional service in the association of devotees, chant Harinam Sankirtan, and in this lifetime also be happy, and the next lifetime is guaranteed going back to Godhead, eternally happy. So let's spread the message. Hare Krishna.